This is something we all experience. So much go, go, go. It's holiday, somebody's birthday, you're taking on a big project at work, you keep thrifting items without cleaning up the old ones, and suddenly you have the absolute overwhelming desire to just chill. That is what today is for you and the next 20-ish minutes, and for me. That's me, by the way, Kelsey, if we haven't met. And I'm so excited to bring you along today as I work on some of my home DIYs that have been on the list. And maybe I'll fill you in on some of my plans for some larger makeovers that you're gonna see from me this year. I really don't know what I could even do in this space. So which room should we start with first? The bedroom. So I got this lamp off of Facebook Marketplace. It's just like a basic IKEA lamp, rice paper, but I'm not loving the silver base of it. And it's actually a little bit too tall because it kind of like overlaps my window a little bit. So I'm gonna try to hack it to make it look more expensive and actually fit in with my space. Should we go to the office? I think that's where we need to do this. First step is going to be disassembling the lamp. I really only need the shade and the lights. I'm gluing together 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood because I want a really thick base. While that dries, let's work on the shade. I know I want the lamp overall to be shorter, so I'm cutting about 1 foot off and then removing the wire frame from the bottom I cut off and attaching it back to my newly shortened shade. Good thing I got extra paper. How will they know? I'm also making a new center pole out of 1 1/8 inch dowel. Since the top of the shade has this fancy circle middle, I'm going to create a little nubbin to better hold the shade on. Okay, the base is dry and I'm cutting out a shape similar to the original, except just a little bit larger. Although I did conceptualize other ideas, but decided against them. I'm gluing on some veneer to the edge of my plywood to cover up all of the edges. Next, I'm drilling a center hole in order to secure my dowel. I'm not gonna go all the way through, and I'll need to sand a bit so that it fits snug. And a glue and a screw will keep everything secure too. I found that a 15/32 drill bit was the exact size of the IKEA light piece, which will allow them to sit in securely. It's the next day, and I'm starting off today at my local neighborhood plant store. I'll get to what this disaster story was in a minute, but first let's go up here. So I have my electric toothbrush here, and my dad gave this to me, my parents gave this to me as a Christmas present, I think when I was about 12 years old, and that's just the kind of family I grew up in. I didn't get Juicy Couture clothes or like, you know, newest stuff from Roxy. I got video cards upgraded in my computer and electric toothbrushes for oral hygiene. And you know, I know they make them a lot sleeker now, but this is my little tried and true baby. Are you guys still listening? Are you still with me? So when you guys know when it comes to the heads, first of all, let's not even talk about the plastic. I've looked into like, there's kind of like wood options, but they are expensive and not easy to come by. But anyways, with the heads, you know that like little plastic thing that comes with it and it holds all the heads? Well, I don't know if I ever have that or if I threw it out, because that's just not, it's never been my aesthetic. But with two people that sometimes hang out here, I have two heads, and I want to make the most adorable little toothbrush holder for the heads. Is this too niche of a DIY? I don't know. So basically I had an idea, but I was looking at inspo, and they have some really cute little like wooden ones, definitely some ceramic ones, and I think I want to make one that's in the ceramic vein of things. We're gonna use some polymer clay. Wait, I really love it. Sometimes these like polymer clay projects don't turn out because it's kind of hard to work with. It's not like overly intuitive, but wait. Look at her. She's so cute. One downside is you can't see the color of the tip, so you don't know whose toothbrush is whose, but I feel like you could just remember. So the gist of this is that I'm a bad plant mom. I mean, I think COVID was a little depressing for all of us. My house doesn't get a lot of light, especially in the winter, and I had a spider mite infestation. So what can you do? Well, actually, I know what you can do. I can replant the things. Each one of these pots is like a little graveyard of a plant that used to be. To give those a wash. Today for lunch, I'm having some leftover stir fry. This doesn't look good. Let me make it look a little bit more appetizing and heat it up. But like a salmon stir fry with pineapple. One of the things that I really want to tackle this year is a kitchen makeover. Now this is, I think, one of the first full makeovers I did in this house once I moved in, but it was really just to kind of like update how it was looking. I did very minimal changes, but I got it to a point where I knew I could kind of live with it until I did get to that kitchen renovation. I think it's on the docket list for this year. I want to change up the layout just a little bit. I think this island in the middle is kind of weird. I would love to do more of a peninsula vibe where my hutch is right now. You know, a nice stone countertop, maybe a little bit more open shelves. Storage is a concern, but at the same time, doesn't that just want to be an open shelf? It does. It does. Probably some new appliances. I feel like the fridge is a little oversized. Just update them a little bit. And the cabinets for sure. Something I'm struggling with though is a microwave. They're just so not cute. And so much of me wants to go without one, but even for resale value, I feel like I need a microwave. I would love a hood vent, but if you have a microwave and a tiny kitchen, it's almost like you can't have a hood vent. You have a microwave instead. I definitely want to keep the nook. Maybe I'll get it updated in some way, but it is iconic. The table is gorgeous. And I don't think that needs to change at all. And I feel like I even might need to do the floors in the kitchen just because it is a kitchen and the wood has kind of separated a little bit. So I kind of need to redo the wood that's seen throughout my whole main floor. So maybe just touch it up, or maybe tile in the kitchen so it's a little bit more durable. The options are endless, and this is gonna be really hard, but I hope you guys are here for the journey. So that's some inspo and some ideas for what I'm gonna do in this kitchen. And again, hopefully it will come this year. Materials and appliance shipments, depending. I don't know how appetizing this looks because it's leftovers, but it's so good, I promise. Pineapple, just like... And then I think the only things that might be left to do here are my laundry room. I really don't know what I could even do in this space because it's so small. It's basically part of my utility room. It sits behind 2 sliding doors in my bathroom, and it's in between my hot water tank and my furnace. I don't know, it'd be nice to have like a little bit of storage, maybe build up a block or a base so that the units can sit on something so they're a little bit higher, and just anything I can do to make it less just exposed in there. I don't know. That's a maybe project. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. And then I think all that's left is maybe the garage. I was gonna do that as part of my backyard makeover, but it just proved to be a lot and I didn't get to it. So I just wanna make the garage function a little bit better. You know, bike storage, sports storage, auto storage, planting material storage. What is that? Gardening. And like, is this too much to ask that I just kind of want it to be aesthetic in there? Like, kind of, you get a nice feeling when you walk in, which is not something that we always get out of a garage. So that would be pretty cool. Well, I think that brings us to the last DIY of today, which just happens to be right here. So my best friend actually painted me this, and you guys might remember in my kitchen makeover that I had a blank canvas in position and I actually made a frame for it. But there's 2 things that happened. First of all, I did kind of a really bad job on that frame. I just kind of whipped it together. A lot of you asked me how I actually did it because I didn't explain it. And the real issue is when I took off the frame to give the canvas to my friend to paint, somehow that wood ended up in my scrap wood pile. That's all I'll say about that. So here we are today where I want to make a new frame for this canvas, and I'll show you guys how to make it too, since so many of you asked how I did it last time. I figured out a better way too. Now the first step is to measure. So we're gonna start with that. Then we're grabbing wood for the frame. I'm using 1.5 by 1/4 inch poplar wood. These measurements are the true to size, and this will be used for the back of the frame, while the sides of the frame will be made from timber that we still have kicking around the office, which is 5/16 thick and 3/4 inch wide. I know that I want about a 1/4 inch gap between my canvas and the frame, so my math looks something like this. Canvas side size plus desired gap plus desired gap plus thickness of the frame wood plus thickness of the frame wood. So I know that my long edge of my one side of the frame needs to be 25 inches and 1/8. And I'm cutting these pieces on a 45-degree angle using a hand or powered miter saw. I'm repeating this math for the other side of the canvas, and in the end you should have 2 of each size. I'm gluing these together and holding them with 90-degree clamps. For my back pieces, you could do the exact same thing with the miter saw, but just because of the sizes that these wood pieces come in, I'm cutting the full length of my short side of my canvas times 2. And for the longer side of my canvas, I'm actually minusing the thickness of the 2 pieces of the backwood, which in my case is 3 inches off of the total length, because they're gonna sit together something like this. And I'm gluing these pieces together too, and using those 90-degree brackets to hold them in place. And from there, once everything's dried, I can glue the side of my frame to the back of the frame, wood fill, sand, and stain as desired, and from there you can screw your frame on to your wood canvas. I actually put this on a table a little bit smaller than the size of my frame so that I could see from the bottom where the frame was sitting. Then I just did a pilot hole and a small screw to hold the frame onto the wood of the canvas, and I already had these D-rings on my canvas, so that's actually what's going to be holding up the art on the wall. Wow, I cannot believe how long it took me to build a new frame for this canvas. It was really easy, and the end result just pulls it all together. It makes it look like a real fine piece of art. Also, thank you to my friend Ariana for painting that. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode with me as I did these simple little DIYs around my house. I can't believe how long it's taken me to get to some of these projects, but grateful you're here, and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on those making home episodes that I teased. I'm really excited for them. I don't know when they're coming, but I'm gonna make them happen this year. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and here's a little sneak peek of next week's episode, which is Rachel's bedroom makeover. I'm excited to see this one. This girl has some funky style sometimes.
You guys asked for it. You wanted to see me make over more spaces in my home, and boy, does my bedroom need a lot of help. I mean, it has a great starting point because it's a blank slate. It definitely needs a little zhuzh, a little je ne sais quoi. I hope I said that right. I still look like a lemon. I just got a burst of energy, probably because I'm about to make something.